He raised his glass and said, "Only the children who made me proud are truly mine." The room erupted in applause. Glasses clanked, people smiled. And then, he looked at me, right at me. "You can leave." Silence. Forks froze mid-air. My mother stared at her plate. I stood up slowly, my heart thudding like a metronome under my ribs. I could feel every eye on me, the outcast, the disappointment, the daughter who'd thrown her life away for marrying a man my father despised. But before I could take a single step, my husband stood too, and what he did next changed everything. To understand that moment, you need to know who my father is, or rather, who he pretends to be. To the world, he's Colonel Richard Graves, decorated officer, respected leader, moral authority. To me, he's a man who measures love in achievements, who taught me early that affection had to be earned, not given. When I married Adam, a journalist, not a soldier, my father called me a mistake he refused to claim. I thought he'd calm down. He didn't. He cut me off, both emotionally and financially. But that wasn't the betrayal that burned me. That came later, when I discovered what he'd done to Adam. It started small. Anonymous threats sent to Adam's email. False allegations about his work, leaks, sources, ethics. Then came the investigation, conveniently launched after my father met with Adam's editor. Adam lost his job, his name, his reputation, everything. I knew who was behind it. My father's hand was all over the precision of that takedown. When I confronted him, he didn't even deny it. He just looked at me with that cold military stare and said, "You married beneath you. Now you're living the consequence." That night I made a decision. I wouldn't argue. I wouldn't scream. I would dismantle him, the same way he dismantled everyone else. For months I planned. Quietly. I started volunteering for his foundation, the one that helped veterans rebuild their lives. I handled his paperwork, learned his systems, his donors, his secrets. I discovered the shell companies, the bribes, the misused military funds he'd hidden under charity fronts. He thought he was untouchable. He forgot who taught me how to hide a weapon in plain sight. I gathered everything. Documents, statements, recordings. Adam helped me piece the trail together. Every falsified contract, every offshore account. But we didn't leak it yet. Not yet. I wanted him to see his empire collapse in front of his audience. So when his retirement dinner came, the one he'd planned as his final victory lap, I made sure we were there. He didn't invite me. My mother secretly sent the invitation. I accepted it with a smile. That night, he gave his speech. The perfect performance, humility, legacy, pride. And then, that line. "Only the children who made me proud are truly mine." Then came my name. His dismissal. "You can leave." I stood, calmly. The crowd waited for me to break. But Adam stood too. He didn't touch his glass. He didn't shout. He just reached into his jacket, pulled out a small envelope, and placed it on my father's plate. My father frowned. "What is this?" Adam's voice was steady. "Proof that you're not the man this room thinks you are." The colonel laughed, the kind of forced laugh that demanded others follow, but no one did. "Read it," I said. He opened the envelope. His face changed just slightly when he saw the first document. Bank statements, transaction logs, signed authorizations. Whispers began, chairs shifted, cameras flashed. "Where did you—" I cut him off. "From your own foundation. The veterans you stole from. The donations you laundered." I stepped closer. Your disappointment learned from the best. He stood, trembling with rage. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I do. So does the press. The files went public 30 minutes ago, right about when you started your toast. The applause that followed wasn't for him this time. It was for me. Or maybe for the spectacle of watching a legend fall. By the time we left the hall, reporters were already outside. My mother didn't look at me, but I caught the smallest hint of relief in her eyes. Freedom looks quiet sometimes. Adam took my hand as we stepped into the car. "Are you okay?" he asked. I nodded. He wanted me gone. Now he's the one who'll be erased. The next morning, his resignation hit the news. The foundation frozen, assets seized, the hero exposed. He tried to call me. I didn't answer. Some apologies come too late, especially when they're meant to save face, not soul. People always said I was my father's daughter. They were right. But unlike him, I don't destroy for power. I destroy for peace. And that night, when he told me to leave, he didn't realize he was giving me permission to end his reign.